The Nairobi High Court has sentenced to death Miss Langata Prison 2016 beauty pageant winner Ruth Kamande over the murder of her boyfriend Farid Mohammed in 2015. During sentencing, the court noted that the accused in her mitigation did not indicate that she acted out of anguish or despair, saying the accused acted with clear intention to cause the deceased pain, suffering and death. At the time of the killing in 2015, Ruth Kamande was only 21 years old and had just been enrolled at JKUWAT to study business. The family of the late Farid Mohammed expressed satisfaction with the conviction.
I find that the accused person deliberately stabbed the deceased with the clear intention to cause him pain, suffering and death, and I've taken into account. I want young people to know that it is not cool to kill your boyfriend or girlfriend, even where you feel disappointed or frustrated. Don't do it. Instead, it is cool to walk away and thereafter to forgive. Now, after considering all these factors, I find that the only sentence to pass in this case is death, and therefore sentence the accused person to death as prescribed by the law.
But I was hoping for life sentence. We are Christians, but we just wanted to thank the court and the justice in Kenya. Now we believe that there's justice in Kenya. That's the most important thing. That people cannot go taking other people's lives just because one is frustrated.
Welcome back, guys. I trust you are doing well. Now, today's true crime story is a very dicey one. It has a lot of plots and twists, and it's about a young, beautiful lady who was sentenced to death in Kenya for taking the life of her boyfriend, whom she suspected of cheating on her. She took a knife and she stabbed him over 22 times and took his life. She was subsequently sentenced to death. But then something else happened. She's out on the streets now. If you want to find out what happened, just buckle up and let's go. So, I'm deliberately going to leave out the name of Ruth's boyfriend from this true crime story. I have my reasons and I'll let you know. My reason is that, first of all, due to the outcome of this case, currently, as of 2023, reports out there have it that the family of the victim, that's the boyfriend, are unhappy with how things eventually turned out, and they feel that to an extent justice may have escaped them, although some people are also thinking that justice, or they may have been robbed of justice. Either way, I think that just to respect their pain per the outcome of events on this case, it would be better if I leave out the name of their son. Respectfully, bear with me as I do this. Now to the substantive case. So Ruth and this boyfriend of hers were dating, but he was staying at a town called Buruburu. So Ruth, as per every normal relationship, would go over to see him from time to time and vice versa. So there were times he would also come and see her. They were young and they were in love. Ruth was very young at this time. She was just around the age of 20 to 21 years old, and she was still getting to understand what the concept of love was actually all about. But then something happened. And as with all relationships, there are turbulent times, and theirs began to suffer its own form of turbulence. And it came in the form of a message, a text message for that matter, that Ruth happened to see on her boyfriend's phone on one of such instances when she was with him at his apartment in Buruburu. Now, per the reports, upon seeing this, Ruth got very upset because she felt that this boyfriend of hers, whom she was so loyal to, whom she loved so much, whom she had dedicated herself to so much, was actually cheating on her. And in that regard, it set her off. She was triggered. Long story short, she got a knife, and before anyone could say Jack, she had ended up inflicting over 22 stab wounds on this guy and ending his life in the process. The police came in and Ruth was arrested. She was put before court, and like you saw in the introductory video, she was sentenced to death for the crime that she has committed, and also as an example to the youth out there in Kenya and maybe to other parts of the world, to learn from it and realize that the fact that you are upset with something does not necessarily imply that you have to go and venge your anger on someone else or on whoever you thought is responsible for your bad feeling and take their lives. Commendable? If yes, let me know in the comment section. If no, let me know in the comment section. But she was sentenced to death, not to life, she was sentenced to death by the judge. And this sentencing raised a lot of eyebrows. At a point, Amnesty International even came in, condemning the death sentence because, according to them, no offense warrants a death sentence or should warrant a death sentence. But that is what was pronounced by the High Court in Kenya. And at a point, she appealed, but the sentence was upheld. So she was serving her term. And the family of the victim, inversely, also felt that this was the justice that they were looking for. Now, this is the sad part about when these things occur. There's always going to be emotions being juggled around, where one side's misfortune is the other side's, I don't even want to say joy, maybe I should say closure. Because here in this case, the family of the victim felt they had attained justice and a form of closure because the culprit involved in the taking of their son's life, Ruth, had now been sentenced to death. So, to them, that was a form of justice or closure, so to speak. But to the family of Ruth, it also meant that their loved one was going to face a death sentence. So definitely, it was going to be a bad experience for them too. This is how things go when somebody just fails to keep their emotions in check. Now, fast forward. Just when this family thought that they may have found their closure, 2022 is in, and Ruth has been pardoned by the president of the country, alongside over 100 more prisoners, with the objective being that they are being given a second chance. This also sets the country apart to an extent because there was a section of the population who believed that if you want to give people second chances, look at the crimes they've committed. Ruth shouldn't be in the mix. And there are also people who are of the view that she's so young and she has her whole life ahead of her. She has done a very bad thing, but please give her a second chance. And she was released. But obviously, the family of the victim wouldn't be happy about this. I'm in the middle, actually, because I believe in both theories, that people must pay for their crimes. And at the same time, I believe to an extent some people, or maybe all people, deserve a second chance. I'm sitting on the fence, actually. Let me know which one you are going for in the comment section. But she's since been released, and she's going about her life. I hope she does better, at least in honor of the memory of the life that she took. She has to live a better life and maybe commit herself to a cause that seeks to improve the lives of others. I think that could bring a form of redemption to her and her name and her legacy. What do you think about this whole true crime story? It has plots and twists, like I mentioned. She was jailed and sentenced to death, where you would feel that, okay, it has come to a good conclusion, but now she's been pardoned and she's out on the streets. Let me know what you think about this. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. It's free, but it helps us to grow and share our content. Click the notification button And as I always say, keep an eye out and stay safe out there. Catch you next time.